This tutorial is going to show the power of the dollar sign. If this case here we have basically 5 rows and then a series of 100 columns, and we wanted to fill out this table with each cell representing the multiplication of the product of whatever column it's in. So in this case 1 multiplied by the row that it's in. So this would be multiplication of 1 times 1 giving us 5. If we went down here to say this one, it would be the product of whatever column 3 multiplied by row 10, so this would be 30. Now we can go through and do this all by hand, and it would take quite a while, but with the power of the dollar sign we can go ahead and make that a lot easier. So let's just start off by putting in a regular formula in here. We're going to multiply this one times the column. Okay, so that does actually give us 1. Now the thing is, with Excel, you want to, for efficiency, you want to drag things across. So if I take the bottom right here and I drag it across the side, it's going to fill in all those cells with that formula. Now, if we look at the formula, and anytime you look at a formula, you can click up here and it's going to show you exactly which two it's referencing here. What you'll find is that this formula, when it's dragged out, it's a relative reference, so whatever cell it is, it took 1 to the left and 1 above, because that's what we did in the previous cell. If you go on here over to this side, same thing happened, 1 above and 1 to the left. So what we want to figure out is, how do we freeze that first cell? So if I go back into the first one, now I want to freeze this part of it. So I want to freeze it at A4. Okay? So A4 I want to freeze. So the way we do that is I can freeze that cell by going dollar sign and dollar sign. So that will freeze that there. Okay, so now if I go back up here after I've drug that out, that one got frozen there while this one was free to move. Okay, so now if we take this here, and I'll show you, we want to fill in the entire table. Instead of scrolling down, what I can do is I'm just going to double click on the bottom right hand corner, and that's going to fill it all in. Okay, so we've filled that all in, but what you'll find is that when I click down here, okay, it froze it up here, so it didn't let this one come down, and this one actually kept moving down. And so what we want to do is have, for each cell, we want to have the cell that's referenced, or the cell that's being the product, a multiplication of this one times this one. Okay, so we're going to go back up here. What you find, since that we fully froze this cell, we only want to freeze, in this case, the whatever column it's in, because we want it to be free to move down. And so I'm going to freeze it on A, but I'm going to let 4 move. So A is always frozen, which when we do this, drag it over, okay, and that fills in all those, and then I'm going to double click on the way down, and you can see that the numbers just increased. Now if you look here though, there's something funny going on, so let's click on one of these and figure out where we're at. Okay, indeed what happened was that this one is doing correctly what it's supposed to do, but this one isn't referenced correctly, so it's not frozen up top. So we want to freeze that back up there. So we're going to go back up to the beginning again, and we want that 3 to be frozen. So we'll go ahead and freeze the 3. And this time when I drag over, get that full first row, and then double click all the way down, we see that now we have all the way down exactly what we were looking for. So if we look into 33 here, you're going to see that it's frozen it on the row, or on the column, as well as the row up here, or the column and the row. So that is how to use the dollar sign.